This video covers question 4 and part B of the 2022 AP Calculus AB free response section, no calculator allowed portion. So as we look at part B here, this problem is saying, is there a time between 0 and 3 for which the r prime of t value is equal to -6? And then they want us to justify our answer. So as we look up top here, right, when they start talking about derivatives, it's a little weird, but just kind of remind yourself that that derivative is really behaving like normally y values would, and that we're talking about the gap between 0 and 3. So only in this gap right here. What you'll notice is that -6 does live between these two values, these two r prime of t values here. But do we have enough information to justify our answer? Well, what we're going to be doing is using the fact that this is a twice differentiable function, which means that if it is differentiable, so we know then because it's twice differentiable, we know r prime of t is differentiable. And if it's differentiable, because it's differentiable, that tells us if something's differentiable that it also has to be continuous. That's one of the requirements of being differentiable. So we know r prime of t is continuous. So that would kind of be the start of what I would tell them as far as justification. Then from there, what we're really looking at here is the intermediate value theorem. And what the intermediate value theorem told us was that if we had some function, f of x, that was continuous on an interval, on a closed interval from a to b, then basically what happens is we get every number between those two endpoints. So f of a and f of b. So the idea behind it is, it's one of those things sometimes in math, like what it means is so simple that you almost you can't believe that it's got to be said. But if I have some point here at f of a, right, and let's say that f of a is -7, then I have some other point out here at b, and let's say b is up here at 9, so then f of b is 9. Well, what they're telling me is I get this f of x in between here has to equal every value between -7 and 9. There's no way, because it's continuous, that means I can't lift my pencil. No matter what I do, there's no way that I can draw from this first point down here to this second point down here without going through every single value between -7 and 9. So does it equal 3? Sure does. Does it equal -5? Sure does. I don't know where it does, but I know that it absolutely has to. So what we've done right now is we know that our graph is continuous. That was why I put this information together. R prime of t is differentiable, and therefore we know R prime of t is continuous. And so what that tells us then, the conclusion that we can draw is, we'd have to say, yes, there is a time because r prime of t is differentiable, which means, if I can write all this, which means r prime of t is continuous on that interval that we care about. So on the interval from 0 to 3. I'm going to say it's differentiable everywhere, and that they talk about on here. But so it's continuous on 0 to 3. So the intermediate value theorem, I'm not going to write it out again, IVT, you can write it out on the test, applies. And so between those endpoints, so between r prime of 0, so I'm drawing an F there, between r prime of 0 and between r prime of 3, there has got to be a value such that r prime of t equals -6. And so you would say r prime of 0, that is -6.1, is less than or equal to Negative 6 lives in between there, and that's less than or equal to r prime of 3, which is negative 5. And so that's kind of what you want for your justification. They basically are going to give you 1 point on here for telling them that you know that it's differentiable and continuous on your given interval. And then they're going to give you 1 point for talking through the intermediate value theorem portion of this and drawing the proper conclusion that yes, negative 6 lives between negative 6.1 and negative 5, so therefore we know that it has to be there. Thanks for watching my video. If you liked it, please click that like button and subscribe. And also share it with your friends and anyone else you know who might be crying about an upcoming AP Calc test. You can find more videos from me, more sample AP Calc questions, and my complete AP Calc study guide over at my website, apcalcprep.com. Have a great one.